I would like to commence by apologizing for my accent and pronunciation, but thanks so much for hopping on today. It's such a pleasure to see you. How are you today?
I'm doing great, actually. Everything's going well so far. No worries at all about the pronunciation. So feel free to say it in your own way.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for hopping on today. As always, I'd love to dive straight into it because this session's about you. It's about readers, listeners learning as much about you as possible. So please, could you introduce yourself, your full name, and the title you'd like to go by, and what it is exactly that you do.
All right. So first, I'd like to thank you for having me. And so my name is Farah Ghanem. I'm an entrepreneur and management consultant and a business and leadership coach. A little bit about me. I have two master's degrees in engineering. Yes, engineering. I did a huge shift in my career, and my journey took me deep into training, coaching, and business strategy. So I've spent over 10 years working with international corporations, NGOs, UN agencies, helping them to create a more engaging, results-driven training and leadership program, in addition to my management consultation. So what does Farah do best? When it comes to this, I really want to help, or I've been doing this as well. I help trainers, coaches, and leaders, as well as executives, to transform their experience and expertise into a highly interactive, gamified, and engaging experiences. Because let's be honest, nobody wants another boring training session and to get bored during that. So yeah, this is it.
100%, and can definitely relate to that. There's nothing worse than either team meetings or presentations from clients, prospective clients that just drag on and it's just being spoken to. Like nothing is worse. So, I mean, you mentioned already you had a shift, you were studying engineering and you've ended up down this path. What kind of inspired you to end up where you are today, Farah?
Um, Honestly, I never really planned to be a coach or a consultant. I haven't known much about these fields in general. I started in project management thinking that this is where I'd stay. But then I noticed something different. So many brilliant professionals were stuck in cycles of trial and error, doing amazing work, but missing the right tools to scale and stand out, especially coming from a background where I used to work with entrepreneurs and trainers in the programs that I used to manage or work at. So, and in the training world, I saw an even bigger gap where trainers were competing hard, but most were still using traditional, outdated methods. Uh, Sorry for that, but boring methods as well. So that's when I brought in gamification, a strategy I've been using for over 10 years. It started out of nowhere with Airbus, my experience with Airbus. When I used to work in the R&D department, research and development department, and we used to develop courses using gamification to help. So now I'm turning this experience to help trainers, coaches, and executives turn their content into highly interactive, memorable learning experiences, and that's when everything changed for me.
So cool. And it's amazing that it actually hasn't really caught widespread, as in not so much that your personal success isn't, indicative of the whole industry worldwide not catching on, but it is crazy that it hasn't caught on in other facets, or that trainers are almost resistant to the change. They're scared to go away from that boring model. So, I mean, what challenges have you faced yourself kind of going from, I mean, even all the way back to the R&D days to today? What sort of friction points have you found?
Wow, where do I start? So every business owner will relate and will tell you challenges are a huge part of the game. So for me, I've had my share of industry shifts, economic crisis in Lebanon, having to go back and forth to the GCC, and personal setbacks. So if I want to think of the toughest, having to both to pose my business, I have another business which is a coffee shop, a specialty coffee shop, and a karak shop in Beirut called Karakna. So I had to pause it because of the war in Lebanon. So that was a heartbreaking thing for me because it was more than just a business. It was the passion and the community place that turned to be alive. However, uh, with lessons learned like hope, agility, resilience, that's something built in our Lebanese identity. I had to move forward, and I reopened the coffee shop after the war, and I'm reinitiating everything. So I don't believe in just having the plan A nowadays. I always have a plan B, C, and D. That's a huge thing in project management. So, and I actively seek guidance from experts, consultants who've been through similar situations because there's no reason to learn everything the hard way when you can just learn from other mistakes and experiences. And this is where I'm bringing my experience to others, trainers, who can optimize and leverage their training through my skills.
So cool. So cool. And yeah, I mean, crazy what's happened in the world in the past 18 months, and of course in your own personal journey around that too. So yeah, happy that you've come out the other side of it, and you know, you're able to still share those strategies. And most importantly, as well as you shared at the very end there, is it goes to show how important it is to have backup plans and be prepared for any instances, and keep adapting to the world's going to keep changing around you. So you have to keep finding those ways to change and adapt. So yeah, thank you for sharing that too. So I mean, pivoting slightly away, I mean, you've already mentioned the gamification process of your training and leadership piece. Is there anything, or maybe a more succinct way you would put it, that allows you to stand out from the crowd? That what makes you different from the other, you know, the coaches and trainers out there today?
Yeah, that's a great one. Actually, uh, at a young age, I was able to train more than 25,000 individuals from more than 30 plus countries. So, which made me unique in the way that I'm delivering the training. So, there are a lot of amazing coaches out there, but what makes me different, first, I don't do generic coaching or training. I bring neuroscience based knowledge, high performance approach, combined with mainly hands on business expertise and practical expertise. So, what I do is that I focus on real transformation, not just motivation. I don't just talk about the success. I give people the exact tools and frameworks to get measurable results. So I believe in KPIs and measuring the impact that we're doing throughout the training or the coaching sessions. And third, this is a big one, which is nowadays we cannot rely only on the researchers and without focusing and using AI tools. So I use AI driven analytics, emotional intelligence mapping. I'm a certified in emotional intelligence, and I believe highly in emotional intelligence at workplace. So in addition to the gamification techniques, to make the learning and the coaching fun, engaging, inspiring, and effective. So if you're working with me, for those who have been working with me, they they really you have to really expect to see real changes, taking it taking into consideration the feedback that I've used to hear and still hearing till now. Um, in addition to having the cultural background that I where I can address any audience at any place in any country, especially taking into consideration that my work depends on traveling to different countries and delivering these workshops.
It's, I mean, I'm sure that even speaking multiple languages, you've got the ability to, you know, not only have an astounding amount of experience, you've got the qualifications to back it up too. So, yeah, really cool to see that many layers and depth, I think, more than anything. So, thank you for sharing. I mean, you mentioned already a multitude of achievements. Do you have a favorite one? Is there one you can put it down to? Is there a figure, an amount of people you've helped? Is there something that springs to mind when I say biggest achievement to you?
That's a big one. So if I want to think of a big achievement, it's about three main pillars for me. Let's say first, I believe it's helping thousands of professionals transform their careers, listening to their feedback, to their journey, how it turned out to become a changing aspect of their lives. So whether it's coaches leveling up their game, trainers making their sessions unforgettable, getting more projects and the training opportunities because of their improved skills, and businesses scaling with strategy as a management consultant in my side of work. So that's one. The second pillar is scaling multiple businesses. Coming from my personal experience in the field, let's say, in addition to my education and knowledge, from startups to corporate ventures, turning ideas into real and thriving businesses. Third achievement that I believe it's there and or pillar for my biggest achievement, it's building a strong community of professionals. So people who don't just learn from me, but also collaborate, connect, create their own opportunities together. So whenever we have a huge community where we share opportunities for each other, with each other, and make the growth grow. I don't know how to mention it, but like to make it accessible to everyone. Like we grow together.
So good. And
So yeah,
no, sorry if I've cut you off there. Anything else to add to that
no,
third pillar?
it's like making or seeing the people I work with win. That's what makes everything worth it.
I'm 100% the same. That's literally all I was going to add to that. I think the most rewarding part of coaching and consulting is literally just seeing others, as simple as achieving their dreams or seeing their creation come to life. Like it's such a cool part. Even just instilling belief in themselves that they can do that. Not even that end result that they get there, like just seeing that hope turn to belief and that it can happen. So yeah, thank you for sharing that like-minded view.
My pleasure.
Is there Do you have a line? Do you have a quote? Do you have an inspirational figure, a person that's helped you get to where you are today? Anything spring to mind with that aspect too?
Absolutely. One of my go-to quotes, I like to call it like this way. Um, it's like work until your success becomes impossible to ignore or to leave a signature wherever you go. I think my team would reflect to this, and everyone that I work with would reflect to this because I mention it a lot. And there's this saying from Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, that I love and that I use as well, which is in Arabic it says إذا عمل أحدكم عملا فليتقنه, which means if you do something, perfect it. So for me, success isn't about being loud only. It's about being so undeniably good at what you do that people have no choice but to notice. So leaving signature wherever you go and making your success impossible to ignore.
And I would like to ask a side question to that because I think what so many people, I'd say what everyone, regardless of whether they're a coach, whether they're in business, imposter syndrome is one of those really, really difficult things to come over and get over the top of. How have you, I guess, pushed through that? That is it just kind of believing in that quote, that passage, that what the path you're on is a path to success, and that you were not an imposter? Could you maybe elaborate a bit on that concept if you can relate to that concept itself?
Absolutely. You know, there are setbacks in any journey, in any successful journey, there are setbacks. And if you want to focus your energy, your time on the negative side, on these challenges, on these setbacks, you'll end up staying there. So sometimes we have to grieve to feel these energies or these emotions, let's say, but we have to move forward. So I might give a feeling an hour or two, but I have to go back to what I was doing and I believe in discipline and dedication. Because if I want to stay at the bottom, I'm not going to move forward. So believing in what's coming and the success that I can see in front of me is what keeps me going. And I depend a lot on self motivation as well, bringing the motivation into myself, not just taking it from the others. So this is something that I believe in.
Beautiful. And you need to have that belief in yourself. You can't simply rely on those around you every time. So, so cool. Thank you for the pivot there. Where to next? You've obviously achieved so much already. How far ahead are you looking? Are you looking 6 months ahead, 12 months ahead, 5 years ahead? What's the future look like for you?
Uh, Big things are happening. That's what I can say for the meantime. Definitely expanding my coaching model, my online services. Before, I mostly worked with corporates and NGOs and only took very few individual clients on a monthly basis. And upon the high request that I'm getting, I'm scaling up so more professionals can access my coaching programs worldwide. Second, my coffee shop. So bringing back Kerekna, I'm working on reviving and expanding the coffee shop, but this time with a stronger brand, more impact, taking into consideration and scheduling some workshops at the coffee shop as well to better impact the community. In 5 years, I don't know, but like generally speaking, seeing myself taking things beyond coaching, maybe. I want to have businesses, professionals, not just grow, but lead and redefine their industries, leaving impact, building a legacy actually of innovation, collaboration. I want to emphasize a lot on this and lasting impact for sure. So, yeah, I'm just getting started.
Beautiful. God willing, it all comes to fruition for you. And yeah, I just really wanted to commend you on the path that you are taking, that it is through, not just sheer determination, but faith as well. So thank you for taking the time to sit down with me today. Where can readers, listeners, where can they connect with you? This is kind of your time to plug away. So let us know wherever they can connect with you, whichever platform you want to be reached out on.
Please make sure to check my LinkedIn profile. It's Farah Ghanem, and my Instagram as well, Ghanem Farah at Ghanem Farah. And in a few days, my website will be going live, so you can find me on www.farahghanem.com, where you can book any service and let's collaborate.
Perfect. Well, it'll be live just in time for the article to go live, so that'll be perfect. I'm really excited to, see it all come to fruition, see the collaboration come to life over the next 6, 12, 5 years, and thank you for sharing some beautiful little tidbits there. So,
My pleasure.
last one I normally ask as well: favorite podcast you listen to at the moment, one that readers may not have heard of before.
There's a podcast called Tamania. It's in Arabic, actually. I believe there's translation for that one. It's called Tamania, and it is definitely recommended. I'll share the link with you, actually.
Share the link with me. I'd love it. The first Arabic podcast has been recommended. I still haven't had anyone recommend the same podcast yet, which is actually quite impressive, considering there's obviously the
Interesting. Yeah,
usual big names out there. So please do link it. I'm going to make some posts over the coming weeks around everyone's podcast suggestions. So thank you for the time
amazing.
and really do
My
appreciate it. And
pleasure.
getting it live.
Thank you for having me, and I wish you all the best. God's willing to make things work as we expect and as we imagine things happening.
Thank you very much.